At the farthest edge of the world, where maps ended in blank white and compasses spun in delighted confusion, winter never truly slept. Snowflakes drifted in long spirals that seemed almost thoughtful, as if the sky were taking its time placing each one. The moon hung low and close like a silver lantern, and the stars leaned down to watch there. Beneath those watchful stars lived the northlight herd. They were not ordinary reindeer. Frost clung to their fur in delicate patterns that never melted, and their antlers held threads of starlight as if the night itself had decided to rest there. When they ran, the snow hummed under their hooves, and when they leapt, their shadows stretched long and graceful across the glittering plains. Among them moved a young reindeer named Leora. Leora's coat was darker than most, a deep, soft brown that set the frost on her back glowing like tiny embers. Her antlers, though, were small and tangled for her age, while other reindeer carried shimmering braids of pale light. Across their antler tines celestial ribbons that curled and danced. When they shook their heads, Leora's antlers held only the faintest, shy glimmer in the reflection of the ice pools. She often studied that dim glow and wondered if the sky had forgotten her every night. The herd gathered on the snowcrest ridge and raised their antlers to the heavens. They were the weavers of the Leora. The northlight herd drew threads from the stars and the moon, twisting them with the invisible warmth of human hope, shaping them into broad curtains of green and violet, pink and blue. The auroras that drifted across winter skies were their silent handiwork. On most nights, Leora stood at the edge watching. She admired Brann, the lead stag, whose antlers blazed like a frosted crown. Brann moved with steady certainty, guiding the patterns of light with measured sweeps of his head. Beside him danced Silvi, a slight, quick-footed doe whose laughter never needed a sound. The sparkle in her eyes and the way she bounded through drifts told the herd everything about her joy. Silvi's antlers shimmered in playful flickers, and the auroras always seemed to curve where she leapt. A few steps back stood Moss, a sturdy reindeer with moss-green eyes who preferred lichens and quiet places to dizzying skies. His antlers glowed a deep, steady gold that calmed the wildest swirls of aurora, smoothing them into gentle waves. He rarely led, but he made sure nothing unraveled. Leora admired all of them. Yet each time the herd lifted their antlers, and the sky responded in curtains of color. Her own light remained hesitant, like a candle in a world of bonfires. On the last night before Christmas Eve, the North Pole buzzed with a particular kind of energy. Far beyond the ridge, lanterns twinkled in the hollows of snow where toy makers worked, and somewhere, sleigh bells were being polished until they could capture a reflection of the stars themselves. This was the night the herd always wove the guiding veil, the brightest aurora of the year, a luminous path that would stretch across the world, showing the way for a certain sleigh and its earnest driver. The herd climbed Snowcrest Ridge to begin their work, but as they reached the summit, the air felt wrong. The stars were there, but dimmer, as if hiding behind a curtain of invisible cloud. The moon hung pale and tired, without its usual sharp silver edges. The snowcrest itself, usually bright enough to make shadows under hooves, looked washed in ash. Brann lifted his head, testing the sky. His antlers, magnificent and bright, flickered, but no threads of light descended to meet them. He turned slowly, confusion tightening his posture. Silvi pawed at the snow, ears tilted back. Moss walked to the edge of the ridge and gazed upward, his golden glow reaching, but finding nothing to grasp. The night remained stubbornly plain. The herd shifted uneasily. Their work had always begun the same way, stars sending down thin, shining threads, moonlight offering a steady base, the glow of distant hearths lending warmth to the aurora's heart. Now, nothing came. Leora felt something else. She could sense a hollow, as if a light that should have been there had simply been plucked away. The emptiness was not in the stars themselves, but behind them, deep in the structure of the sky. It reminded her of walking into a room where a candle had just gone out, no flame, only a ghost of warmth and the faint smell of smoke. The Northlight herd did not speak in words, but they shared understanding in glances, movements, and the quiet language of shared work. In those small ways, a realization spread among them. Something at the heart of winter's magic had gone missing. Far below the ridge, hidden in a grotto of ice and old snow, lay the Midwinter Heart, Legend said it was not a jewel, nor a piece of machinery, but a living point of pure light that the world had grown around. The Midwinter Heart kept time for the darkest season. With its steady pulse, it called stars to shine more brightly over snowy roofs, coaxed candles to burn longer in drafty homes, and ensured that the guiding aurora could always be woven. Without it, Christmas Eve would come without its guiding light. The sleigh that depended on that luminous path might fly blind through storm and cloud, missing countless windows and waiting dreams. More importantly, the quiet warmth that threaded through songs, shared meals, and hope on that night would be thinner. Fragile, Brann's gaze turned toward the north, where the land rolled into the wishing forest. The forest was older than memory and stranger than maps. Trees that had seen 1,000 winters grew in spirals, their branches threaded with ice crystals that chimed against each other with every small breeze. Time did not behave itself beneath their boughs. Paths that seemed straight one day twisted the next. Snow there did not just fall, it remembered. Stories told among the herd spoke of a hidden chamber beneath the forest where the Midwinter Heart had been set when the world was young. No reindeer had visited it in longer than anyone remembered, because the heart had never needed attention. It pulsed, the auroras answered, and the seasons turned. Now, the herd understood. The silence of the sky meant the heart had dimmed, or slipped, or fallen from its cradle. A choice formed among them without a single word. Someone would have to journey into the wishing forest, find the Midwinter Heart, and restore its light before Christmas Eve fully arrived. The northlight herd was strong, but the forest required more than strength. The paths were made of half-finished wishes and forgotten promises. They could tangle even the surest hooves. A guide would be needed, someone who could feel small lights, faint and stubborn, the kind that hid in corners, waiting to be noticed. Leora's own dim antlers prickled. Her glow was never bright enough to pull down star threads from the sky. It shimmered at the edges of things instead, in the last ember in a fireplace, the nearly gone glint of a toy's eye, the lingering sparkle in a child's tear. She felt those tiny remnants, and sometimes she closed her eyes and followed them with her mind, tracing where they went. Now, on Snowcrest Ridge, she felt something like that, but larger and farther away. Deep beneath the wishing forest, a tired light still pulsed faintly. Like a heartbeat muffled by miles of snow. The decision spread quickly. Brann, Silvi, Moss, and Leora would go. The rest of the herd would stay, keeping watch on Snowcrest Ridge, ready to begin weaving the moment any light returned. Their silhouettes stood against the starless sky like anxious sculptures. The forechosen reindeer descended from the ridge. The journey to the wishing forest took them over plains of whispering snow and past ice cliffs that held frozen reflections of winters long gone. As they moved, the night wind carried hints of faraway things: chimney smoke, cinnamon, laughter muffled by walls, the creak of rocking chairs, the turning of pages in storybooks. All the world's quiet preparations for Christmas rode on that wind. Leora listened closely. Whenever she sensed a thread of warmth, however small, her antlers brightened a little, pulling the others in the right direction. Silvi darted ahead often, tracing paths and testing the snow's depth with quick steps, only to circle back and bump her shoulder lightly against Leora's, a reminder that no one traveled alone. Moss watched the horizon with steady vigilance, scouting for hidden crevices in thin ice. Brann kept pace near the front, his presence like a moving beacon of stability. At last, the outline of the wishing forest rose before them. Unlike other forests, its trees did not simply stand. They leaned, curved, and twisted as if listening to something underground. Their trunks were pale and smooth, marked with faint, glowing rings that pulsed softly. Tiny bells of ice hung from branches, and every few moments, one would shiver for no visible reason, releasing a single delicate chime into the night. When the four reindeer stepped beneath those branches, the world changed. The air grew thicker and colder, yet strangely comforting, like the moment before a surprise. Snow muffled their hoof beats completely. Above them, the sky disappeared behind a web of frosted branches, but faint glows moved between the leaves, echoes of wishes that had never fully come true. Leora felt them brushing against her senses. A child's hope for a letter back, a baker's quiet wish that no loaf would burn this year, An old man's desire for one more snow that looked exactly like his first. The forest noticed the visitors. The path ahead shifted. Brann lowered his head, testing the ground with his hoof. A trail of faint silver footprints appeared, leading deeper among the trees. Silvi perked up, clearly tempted to chase those marks, but Moss stepped forward, eyes half-lidded in thought. He brushed his muzzle near T,